Hi, Chris.
Hi, Gary.
And hello to you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's public training. My name's Chris Scott.
And I'm Gary, and we are here at the Paperless Agent. And Chris, I got to tell you, man, I am really excited about this training today, this live broadcast, because you were showing me some changes that are coming and some really funny stuff also that you found online that we're going to share with everybody. But more importantly than that, Chris, we're here to share with everybody 5 Facebook campaigns that we absolutely love. We think you'll love too, and work. And so with that, as we get started, we need you to do 2 things. Number 1, go to the chat section and let us know the one thing you want to take away from today's session. And while you're doing that, we're going to explain kind of the structure of our time together today.
Well, we'll explain the structure, and then we'll take a brief moment to introduce who we are. So today, here's what we've got set up for you guys. We're going to talk about the 5 Facebook campaigns that we're loving right now. So after we talk about that, I'm also going to share with you Gary's, how did I phrase it? Gary's Facebook fueled secret weapon. You like that?
Facebook fueled. Fueled by Facebook.
And it's a trick that Gary uses when he goes on a listing appointment. So, in fact, today, not only are you going to learn about 5 Facebook campaigns that are working, I'm going to share with you a couple of slides from Gary's listing presentation as it is relevant to Facebook. So, once we do that, we'll open it up for question and answer as many questions as we possibly can. And then we'll let you on your way. And then you'll have a good day of probably jumping into Facebook, doing some more awesome stuff by the time you're done spending time with us today.
Well, and that's the goal, is that you can take away 5 campaigns, even if you just take one away, where you're like, I'm going to go implement that one. We're going to show you can implement it after this broadcast.
Yeah, in fact, I would say don't try to do all 5 today.
Right.
Pick one that really resonates with you.
Yep.
Pick one that you're like, you know what, I like that one. I'm excited about that one. I'm going to give that one a try, because you'll be more likely to do that one successful if you already have that interest in it. So without further ado, Gary, I'm going to go ahead and take a moment just to share my screen.
Yeah, now as he shares his screen, you'll lose audio for a couple of seconds. Don't worry, we're still here. So go ahead and do that, and we're up and running, Chris. We are good to go.
All right, so let's go ahead, Gary, and while folks are telling us what the one thing is that they would like to take from today's session, go ahead and enter that into the chat feature. That'll help Gary and I customize today's presentation just for you guys, okay? But while we're doing that, or while you're doing that, we're going to take a moment just to introduce who we are if this is the first time you're joining us for one of our live training sessions. Gary Wise here. He's a sales and business development expert. In fact, Gary has over now 21 years of top producing real estate sales experience. There aren't that many people who've sold as much real estate for as long as Gary has.
Well, it's like
who
survival.
Who look as good as he does.
It's survival. There's that meme on Facebook that says, I don't know what they're talking about, real estate being stressful. I'm 35 and I look great, and it's this old woman smoking a cigar. So,
well, here's the thing, Gary. At the peak of your real estate career, because you still sell real estate today, but at the peak of your career, you were going on 6 listing appointments every single week. Now, That's a lot of listing appointments, Gary. In fact, it was all of the work that you've done in the field that got us recognized by none other than Apple Computer. We were featured as, we're actually the only real estate firm in the world that was featured on the Apple website for Gary's use of the iPad in working with his home buyers and sellers. Gary's the quintessential real estate entrepreneur. He invests in commercial real estate, residential real estate. He's even a real estate tech investor advisor. And Gary, you're going to be helping us keep everything on track today to make sure that what we're sharing with everybody has a real world application in a real estate career.
And absolutely everything we're going to be talking about today comes out of this guy's brain, because Chris is a digital marketing expert. And the reason it's really important for you to understand a little of his accolades is you need to understand the power that comes behind the marketing campaigns that we're going to talk about today. All 5 of these, Chris has created and crafted and mastered in a way that it's going to show you how to actually generate leads and build your brand. So that's who this guy is. Chris, you've been in real estate marketing for 18, almost 19 years now.
Since July of 1999.
Okay, so we'll go with 19. And at the time you started, you were the head of consumer marketing for Brian Buffini for 11 years. So, I mean, Chris has been in real estate marketing, helping realtors like you and me for 19 years. After that, Chris, he moved to Austin and ran a sales and marketing division for a 2-time Inc. 500 winning company. If that doesn't say the power that you got here, I don't know what does. And now Chris is my partner here at the Paperless Agent, and he manages pages with over 200,000 fans. And currently, you're helping generate over 6,000 leads a month. Not 5,000, but 6,000. The reason I tell you all about this is not to brag on him, but just to let you know who you're learning from today.
Well, thank you, Gary. But without further ado, let us go ahead and share with everybody some of the things. I see that we have a lot of feedback from everybody,
Yes.
what they would like to learn. But
Yeah.
why don't you give us the highlights? What are the things that people and your peers on today's training, what do they want to take away from today's time with us?
Teresa says, do you suggest personal pages versus business pages or both? We'll talk about that. Melissa is looking to learn more about catching millennial home buyers. How to get Dave says how to get my name out to more potential clients. Amy says detailed info on creating ads and ads manager. Greg wants to learn what the best Facebook campaign is. So I'm going to give, after we go through our top 5, I'm going to give you the one that I think that you should do immediately, and then we'll ask Chris to give you the number 1 too, Greg. So you're in the right place. Somebody said, what happened to Gary's beard? We won't talk about that today. Don wants to learn about just listen, just sold campaigns versus boosting ads. So we're going to talk about all and I can't read all of these comments that people have.
We'll be here too long, right? So let's go ahead, Gary.
But what I want everybody to do, I want to encourage you to post your questions as we go through the training, because we are going to get to Q&A afterwards. So just because we didn't answer them here doesn't mean we're not going to answer them.
All right, Gary, let's dive into today's training. But before we do, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun at somebody else's expense. That's always the best kind of fun, isn't it? So let's have some fun at somebody else's expense.
Well, as long as we can laugh at ourselves, let's laugh at somebody else too.
I always find it's always more fun to pick on somebody that's like a billionaire or something like that.
Yeah,
because,
sure. Because it's easy.
It's easy. They're an easy mark. So you guys probably had seen not too long ago, Facebook was in the news, and particularly Mark Zuckerberg was in the news. And so he was in that congressional hearing or whatever where they were they were asking him lots of questions. So I got a couple of memes that I found that were some of my favorite during that time.
All right.
And I just got a handful I'm going to share with you guys just to put you in a light mood as we get into this very fun training. So here's the first one. It's Zuckerberg, that's the CEO and founder of Facebook. Zuckerberg on his Facebook profile versus Zuckerberg at the congressional hearing. So
how many of you can relate to that? This is how I wake up versus this is my Facebook profile.
Or, the night before at the party and then the morning after. Okay.
That's rough.
Here's another one. Mark Zuckerberg's manner has always reminded me of someone, but I could never quite grasp hold of it. Just now it hit me, watching him testify about data. So any Star Trek Next Generation fans out there?
That's hilarious.
It's amazing. Look at the eyes, are almost exactly the same.
Are. Very robotic.
Here's another funny one. You have to pretend like you're in the mind of Mark Zuckerberg right now, so I'll read this one. It says, "They're probably watching me. Well, let them. Let them see what kind of person I am. I'm not even going to swat that fly. I hope they're watching. They'll see that, and they'll know, and they'll say, why, he wouldn't even harm a fly."
Who are these people who are posting this? This is awesome.
This is probably my favorite one, though, and then we'll get serious here. So my favorite one is this. Mark Zuckerberg using a booster seat to testify before Congress is the only meme you need today. Let me zero in on that picture. There's the booster in the booster seat that Mark needed to sit in front of Congress. So in all seriousness, though, Gary, there's a reason why we're talking about Facebook today, and this is it. It is the largest, most used, most utilized, and most useful social media platform out there. So you can see there, it is the largest social media platform.
By a large sum.
By a large sum. And then even if you look at some of the other social media platforms that are in the top 5, 6, they're also owned by Facebook.
Which is really interesting.
So, when you add up all of the Facebook properties and social media platforms that they own, this number even gets significantly larger.
Right.
And so that's why we're here to talk about Facebook. The reason why you should listen to us about Facebook is I've spent a crap load of money on Facebook, okay? This is just a screenshot from our ad account from one of our ad accounts this morning. This isn't even the sum total, but this is from one of our ad accounts.
$604,000 Chris and I have spent on Facebook ads.
Yes, like I said, this is one of our accounts, not all of our accounts. And so, we spent a lot of money, and I would not have spent this money had it not worked. I'm not just going to go in there and blow 600 G's because, I felt like it. It was because it was working and we were getting a return on investment. I bring this up because a lot of you are going to look at some of these campaigns, these 5 campaigns that I'm about to share with you, and you might say, well, does that really work? Is that really going to make a difference? And I'm going to share with you, I'm not going to put it up here if I don't think, and I haven't worked with it, or if I didn't feel very strongly, like through experience, that it's going to work for you guys. So with that, Gary, I want to jump into the first campaign. And actually, I'm thinking, you do a lot of video and you're very familiar with this type of campaign. Why don't you share with everybody this first of the 5 Facebook campaigns?
Now, before you freak out and say, I'm absolutely never, ever, 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 ever doing video, this is not just about you shooting video of yourself. There are several different video campaigns you can do. But let's talk about the importance of video before we get into that, Chris. Number 1 is that Facebook said that within 5 years, every post on your Facebook feed is going to be video. You know when they said that?
When?
Almost 3 years ago.
Whoa! And so, you can see that in the feeds these days.
You absolutely see it. If you pull up Facebook right now and start swiping through, you see so much video. And so that's why it's critical, is that we need to get good at video because that's what our customers are going to start seeing. In addition to that, let's talk about the impact on brand awareness. Chris, you shared this statistic with me. This comes from Facebook IQ, talking about how long it takes for customers to see a video for you to have a brand awareness impact on them. So let's talk about this. If you can get somebody to watch your video for just 3 seconds, you have a 32% impact on the brand awareness for those individuals.
Which is them recalling your brand in that crucial moment. Like they're aware of the fact that you exist. If they only watch it for 3 seconds, there's that 32% lift. That's fascinating.
But if they watch for 10 seconds, it's up to 65%. So what does this say? This says that, number 1, we have a huge opportunity for brand awareness with the customer if we can get them to just watch the video. The second thing is we need to, in the very beginning of all of our video, give them value.
Give them value, get their attention, and try to keep them. What's funny is that someone might say, well, I want to try and get people to watch it for 10 seconds. But gosh, 3 seconds is basically scrolling through the news feed slowly.
Yes, and that 3 seconds, you got your money's worth right there.
It's still an impact, right? And so how important, how crucial is it for the people who are in our sphere of influence, people who are in our geographic farm areas, the people who know us, how important is it? For them to see and be aware of the fact that we exist and we're here to help them, right?
Yes,
that's essentially what this equates to, is reminding them that, hello, I'm here and I'm available to help.
Not only that, Chris, is that when you start shooting video and they start seeing that, the impression is that, holy cow, this person, this is the professional I need to hire.
Gotcha.
They're competent. So let's talk about a campaign here. Number 1, so this is a video of a home. So, you can shoot videos of homes. If you don't have the budget to actually shoot the video of the home, in Facebook now you can actually upload photos, and Facebook will create a video montage out of the video.
SlideShare type thing. That's pretty powerful. If you're not really, I'm not sure if I'm ready to do video.
Right.
Well, upload pictures of your listings.
That's right. So you don't have to freak out about taking your own video camera or your phone and being on camera. Now, I do want to mention, you being on camera can be a very, very powerful expression of your competence. And one of the ways that Chris and I like to do that is we will do some tips and techniques or even statistics on video and share them with our customer base on Facebook. So, and here's another tip. If you don't like being on camera by yourself and you get nervous, like Chris and I don't like being on camera by ourselves, but if we're talking and having a conversation and somebody's interviewing the other person, it's much easier to be on camera. So find a business partner, get your spouse, get your dog. Heck, I don't really care what you do. Get somebody else on camera and it makes it much easier. So
Gary, can you talk a little bit about how what the impact is when people see videos of us online. Because you've told me on many occasions when you've gone out on an appointment and a client or a prospective client will say, Gary, I feel like I know you because I've seen all your videos.
Yeah, and you know, I actually have had customers, when I show up to a listing appointment, say, I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity because I see your videos everywhere. And that is like, when I hear that, what that means, I won, because they already think of me like that celebrity, like that professional. And what that means, Chris, is I've built enough trust with them to where they're like, wow, I'm meeting with this person. I've already seen their videos. This is just a formality. So building trust is the name of the game.
Well, and Gary, we're not talking about just shooting video and posting to Facebook. We're talking about shooting video and then running a video ad to do so.
And let's talk about the effectiveness and then the cost, because so many people, I think, they're afraid of Facebook ads because they're like, how am I going to compete? How much money do I have to spend? As you see on the screen here, Chris, gosh, we spent $16.70 on this ad, and look at those results. We had, remember, the 3-second video. If we can have them watch 3 seconds of that video, I got that impact. And we had 487 watch it for 3 seconds.
For less than $17.
Absolutely. So the value, the power behind using video and creating an ad on Facebook to it is, I mean, it's insurmountable. I mean, just look at that. But we can't do that without understanding a fundamental marketing rule that, Chris, I'm going to ask you to talk about, because you shared this with me a few years ago. And I'll tell you, had I learned this, not just about setting up my ads this way, but also reviewing them, had I learned this years and years and years ago, I would have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, Gary, if you guys take nothing else away from today's session other than remember this principle, right person, right message, right time, you will have gotten your money's worth out of your time today. But here's the thing. Oftentimes people will ask us, what should I do video about? Now, we gave you 2 examples. We gave you the example of promoting real estate. We also gave you an example of doing real estate tips. But if you wanted to dive into creating video, I would ask yourself these 3 questions. First is, who's the right person for the video that I'm making? Right? Is it my customer? Is it people in a geographic farm area?
Is it somebody who makes a certain amount of money?
Right? So consider, and don't try to make it for everybody. When you're making a video, you're making it for somebody. You know why? Because you have to cultivate the right message for that right person, which is that second attribute to this fundamental rule. You see, you can't have a right message for somebody unless you know who that person is in the first place. And only then can you craft a message that will be effective for them.
Right. So what you're telling me here is that all those years that I sent out recipe cards as a realtor to my database, maybe not the right message?
No, here's the thing. Did some people maybe appreciate that? Yeah, I'm sure some people were like, oh, I'm glad I get to learn how to make Gary's couscous, right? But here's the thing. The couscous is, that's helpful, but it doesn't set you up as an expert in their mind. Maybe in making couscous, they're going to be like, man, Gary is the best couscous maker I ever met. But that's not what we want to be remembered for. I mean, quite honestly, you want to be remembered as being somebody who can sell real estate, not make couscous.
And I make a mean filet. I have no idea how to make couscous. But the point is that that's not the right message.
No, it's not. And then the last thing to consider here is the right time. I like to think of right time as being the right context, because that could be not just like the time of day, but what are they doing at that moment in time?
The first time you shared this with me, I'm like, the right time. Okay, so is that Thursday morning? Is that Friday evening? And you're like, no, dude, you're missing the point.
No, let's say that you're trying to attract people in your farm area,
right?
And you've got the right message, which is, in this case, to be able to get a home search for homes in that farm area.
Okay.
Maybe you want to get like specific pricing information for homes in that area. Well, while you're driving down the road on the freeway and you see that on a billboard, that's not the right time for you to respond to that message. Does that make sense?
Exactly. 100 miles an hour down the freeway is not a good time.
So that's why you want to take that into consideration. And you want to consider that too in Facebook, right? So when you're creating video, you're going to want to make sure, who is the person that I'm creating this for? What's the message? And what's the outcome that I'm hoping that's going to be produced while they're watching this video? Now remember, this message is this fundamental rule is going to apply to all 5 campaigns that we're going to share with you guys today. In fact,
let's get to the second one, which I'm going to ask you to talk about this one.
Well, this one, Gary, is this is fundamental. Like this is, if you're in real estate, you need to market real estate. You need to be seen marketing real estate if you're in real estate.
Yes.
I know that might sound kind of funny, but many of us don't take the time to ensure that our clients, our prospective clients, people in our farm areas see us in the action of marketing real estate.
Yes, this is how critical this is that, so I think when I first got into real estate, I thought that when I was marketing a listing or marketing a just sold, it was about marketing that home. It's not just about marketing that home. It's about marketing my competence and my professionalism to potential customers as well.
You hit on a key word there, Gary, is you were marketing your competence.
Right.
So as a service professional, and guys, you're a service professional, so are doctors and lawyers and anyone who renders a service, that's their products, their labor, the fruits of their labor is what the client experiences. So you're a service professional. Every service professional is going to be judged on their competence. Are you competent at doing what you say you're going to do?
Yeah.
Now, if you are never seen at marketing real estate, how much competence does someone believe you have in marketing their home and getting buyers for that home?
Well, there's no proof. Like, there's no proof in the pudding.
Right. There's no evidence that you do that. So why not take the time to be marketing real estate?
Now, let me ask you a question real quick. Is that marketing real estate? I've seen a lot of questions from our audience so far. Is I'm a brand new agent. I don't have any listings right now. How can I market real estate?
So, well, you can definitely arrange to hold an open house for somebody else and let them know that you would like to market that real estate on Facebook. You can also go to your broker. Right, go to your broker and say, hey, I need listings because I want to be able to build up traffic for us, right, using these techniques so that we can further build up the brand and get more traffic to my website using, and you know, like.
So the thing is that even if you're brand new or you don't have listings, you can still optimize this campaign.
You can still do it because it's where trust is going to get developed. So here's what this campaign looks like. You see it on your screen here. This is probably the easiest campaign that we're going to share today that you could do, which is to build a basic advertisement in Facebook. Not posting on Facebook on your personal profile, not posting on Facebook on your business page, but rather creating an advertisement using Facebook Ads Manager so that you can build the creative and then you can select specifically who you want to see this ad. Now, here's the thing. When I used a carousel ad for this particular advertisement, and when they tapped or clicked on either the button or one of the photos, it took them to a specific page on my website. Also, we like to refer to that as a property landing page. But you see on the right-hand side of my screen there, when they tap on it, they are taken to a page on my website where they can view more photos, get more information, watch a video on that, and ultimately satisfy their interest in that particular listing.
And one thing I want to point out here, Chris, and I've seen this time and time again, is on your landing page, it's critical to have a call to action, like contact me for this showing, email me for whatever.
Well, here's the thing. It's worth doing this campaign, and I'm going to show you how much and the results that it gets, but it's worth doing this campaign just to provide evidence to your customers, to your future customers, to your sphere of influence, to the people in your farm area, to provide them with the evidence that, yes, you indeed sell real estate,
right,
as evidenced by this advertisement and the whole action of doing this. A byproduct is that if you are marketing it to people who are in the market to buy and sell real estate, which using Ads Manager you have the opportunity also to generate leads in the same fashion that those home search sites do, right? Because they're bringing people to a website where people have interest and they request more information. So that's a very important thing to point out. Now you can see with this particular advertisement, we reached 2,547 people spending $40.
That's
so I'm not talking
incredible.
about breaking the bank here.
No. So, Chris, back in the day when I would send out postcards to market real estate, if I wanted to get my postcard in the mailbox, that's not even in the person's hand, in the mailbox of 2,500 people, I'm spending $2,500.
Yes. And no tracking.
And
no
tracking.
No idea what's happening with it.
Right. Now, I get to track and see the effectiveness of this. And here's another thing that's really important is you can even take a snapshot of that and share that with your client.
To your seller,
and show them, look, I got your home in front of 2,547 people. That's incredible.
Now, just a reminder that this is so important. Before we had the internet as a tool, the most effective marketing material or marketing tool that we had was to be able to put a sign in the yard of a listing, or to be able to put that open house signs, out there for us to be able to get our branding in that local market area. Well, using a campaign where you're marketing real estate is like basically putting a digital sign on the internet for the entire neighborhood to see, right? So what happens is this is how conversations take place. This is how referrals take place. This is how word of mouth business takes place. This is how our reputation gets built. It's by seeing the sign in the yard and now the sign in the internet. That is how we build up our reputation. That is how we get more easily referred. And when the neighbor who knows the person whose home is being marketed, they say, "Hey, I saw your home is listed on the market." They say, "Oh yes," but now the neighborhood footprint got extended to everybody who's online. All right, makes sense. And here's the thing. Someone was asking about the details of how to make this happen. You're going to use Facebook Ads Manager, and what you're going to do is you're going to go in there, you're going to specify the specific geographic location in addition to using some of the advanced selection criteria, things like some of the residential profiles like likely to move, or even some of the demographics like home ownership, where they currently own a home. Very important if you're marketing to a farm area.
Now, keep your questions coming. I see a lot of questions. We are going to get to them during our Q&A session.
Yep.
Just because we're not answering them right now doesn't mean that we're not going to get to them.
We see them, but we want to make sure we have enough to get all through all 5 campaigns.
I have to apologize.
Well, no, here's the thing. Well, what if...
I asked this question too early.
No, that's okay, because you asked it if I was a brand new agent. And I'm asking this, I'm going to answer to this if you're a seasoned agent, you just currently don't have a listing right now.
Right.
And one of our clients from our club shared with us, is Ted Williams, one of our club members, longtime club member, shared with us one of the campaigns that he's run, and he did a little twist on it. Instead of just taking a single listing, he essentially did the recently sold postcard with lots of listings in a Facebook ad. So you can see,
so powerful.
You tap on the ad and it takes you to a page on his website with more information, but there's multiple listings in the ad, and each one that you tap on takes you to a different a page on his website with more information about that. And it just says recently sold.
This is like getting any recent sales, and shoot, recent could be
last 5 years.
Last 5 years, whatever. But it shows that your competence to your customer base, and that just builds trust. So if somebody sees that you've sold 10 homes and it all drives them back to your website, it's like, holy cow, that's powerful.
Now, here's what Ted did with this particular campaign. Instead of marketing his recently solds to the world, he only marketed it to his database. So he uploaded his database into Facebook, all right? And I'm going to show you guys how to do that a little bit later on. And then he spent $5.17 to ensure that 233 people from his database saw him marketing real estate.
Preach it. That's amazing.
Like that. Who else who else that could be more important than your database seeing you marketing real estate? Yeah. Because that's how referrals take place. They're like, oh, yeah.
You and I have had this conversation because I've always been focused historically on generating new leads. And the issue has been the cost of generating that lead is low, but the cost of converting is very high. And you said, Gary, don't you understand? The highest cost customer that you could generate is actually people from your database. And it's because you've already spent years building and nurturing those relationships. It's time to capitalize on that work. And so that's where we're going to talk now about another campaign about target marketing your database. So Chris, what are you talking about here with Facebook Messenger?
So I'm going to show you guys how to use Facebook Messenger to create a dialogue with people who know you. Okay, now this is very important because the way real estate happens, the way all sales happen for service professionals is conversations have to take place, right? We have to talk to our customer. At some point in time, we've got to talk to our customer, right? If you're a doctor, you're a lawyer.
Darn it, I was hoping I could avoid that.
If you're in real estate, at some point you got to talk to the client or the patient or whoever, right? And so there are ways to be able to facilitate that conversation, to be able to facilitate that dialogue. Now all of a sudden, I'm able to capture those conversations in a nice, easy way for me to interact. But here's the other thing. It's not just about capturing conversations from my customers who are thinking of buying or selling, More importantly, it's capturing the conversations with my customers who have come across somebody who's thinking of buying and selling. Now I get the referral. Because we don't really do a good job at letting people know how to refer us or even giving them the tools of referral. Because, back in the olden days, there was only one way a referral happened. Somebody who knows you had a conversation with a friend. And by the way, this still happens today. This is timeless. But the only thing that would happen is that a conversation would take place about real estate. Like a friend would say, I'm thinking of moving. And then the person who knows you would say, oh, that's nice. Where are you thinking of moving? Now, the person who knows you may or may not think to refer you. Heck, if it's been a few years, you might not even enter into their mind.
And so, but why is that?
Well, because out of sight, out of mind. If you're not staying in touch, then they're not going to remember you. Or they may remember you. They'll be like, oh, I remember Gary, but you're just not going to enter into their mind at that time when they're having that conversation because you've done a poor job at staying in touch with them. Now, the way to combat that is by using what I'm referring to as omnipresent marketing. Omnipresent marketing is when you are in the constant peripheral vision of your clients and your sphere of influence and your farm area's lives by showing up in places like Facebook.
Right.
It's like showing up through your e-newsletter, by leaving telephone messages or having phone conversations, by having messenger dialogues, by being on Instagram, and even them seeing those digital signs in the yard or even the physical signs in the yard, right? So every impression, if done consistently over time, is what develops omnipresent marketing so that when this conversation happens, you are the first person to enter into their mind.
And not only are you the first person, but because you have this omnipresent marketing that is conveying your expertise, what happens during that conversation?
Well, now all of a sudden, my client is equipped to refer them.
Okay.
Because here's the details of how this works.
Well, because you talked about tools of referral.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So when we're doing omnipresent marketing, an important facet of marketing is, you could call this give marketing. We have to give our clients utility. We have to give them useful information. We have to give them value on a regular basis so that they not only remember us, but they think, you know what? I just had this conversation about real estate. And I know Gary sent some information the other day about real estate. I'm going to forward that on to you. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and message Gary because I just saw that advertisement and let him know that we had that conversation. Is that okay? So in the example on your screen here, this one is just covering why real estate investing makes dollars and cents. Every month we do a different topic, but this one happens to be on real estate investing. And then when they click on that send message button you see there on the screen in the ad,
yep,
it just pops open a little dialog box. And you can actually preload parts of the conversation so that it already says, well, let me go take a step back. In the advertisement, it says, message me for my real estate investor report and for a list of top investor deals on the market. So that's what they're messaging me for. It's a specific call to action that I'm saying. So when they click on there, it automatically populates the message. Hi, Chris, I'm going to start working on your report. Message me if you have any specific questions about investing in Austin real estate, right? So, and then there's that button, let's schedule a call. You can even pre-program call to actions in the messenger dialog box so that if they are ready to talk, or, I could program multiple ones. I just want to refer somebody or whatever the case may be. Now all of a sudden, I'm constantly showing up in their peripheral vision, showing them value and making it easy for them to refer us. All right. So this is a very powerful one. Now, Gary, people might be saying, how do you get people to see, how do you put this in front of your database? And that is quite easy, actually. All you have to do is you go into Ads Manager and then you click on the Audiences button under the Assets category there, and you'll just follow the prompts. You're going to need it in either in a CSV file or a text file to be of phone numbers and addresses so that you can upload that up to Facebook.
Okay, so all you need is the phone numbers and email addresses of. It's or. You don't have to have both.
You don't need both. It's either or.
And then you upload that into Facebook under the audiences, and you create a specific.
Yeah, you're going to create what's called a custom audience there. Okay. And you just follow the prompts. It's very straightforward. But I can see that we're already almost halfway into our time, a little bit more than halfway into our time today. So I want to switch gears into our fourth campaign so that we have enough time to cover all four of these. And this one, Gary, this one's an important one, and I'm going to let you share this one, but I want to give this a little bit of context. So campaign number 4 is about activating clients from your database. So that previous campaign that we just shared with you guys,
yes,
that example was real estate investing. It could be on mortgage rates. It could be on buying power, what's your home buying power, or a home maintenance calendar. It could be on anything that you think would be useful for people who are in your sphere of influence. They don't even have to be in the mode of buying that moment. It'd be something that they could refer to somebody else. If you do that on a regular basis, you earn the opportunity to make offers of help to activate your database, right?
What is regular?
You should be, here's the thing. You should be running a monthly campaign on the same theme over the course of the entire month so that your customers or people who are in your sphere of influence have a touch point from you at least once a week.
Got it.
All right, at least once a week, there should be a touch point. Go back to omnipresent marketing, lots of potential touch points there,
yes,
right? So you should be doing something a little bit of time, spending 20 minutes every week doing something related to marketing to your database, okay?
Yep.
It's not a ton of time, but it is an essential amount of the right thing to do. Now, when you do this, you get an opportunity to activate. Activate means I'm going to make more direct offers of help, right? So in this case, we're going to use what's referred to as a lead generation ad or a leads ad. Facebook has a specific type of ad called a lead ad. And the reason why they have this ad and why I like to use it is, here's a statistic that might shock some of you guys, but over half of Facebook users only log in using a mobile device.
I'm one of them.
Right, so they don't go to the desktop. No, I think Gary, you're a perfect example. Gary's not on his desktop; he's just using his phone or his iPad. Me, I use the desktop. I'm old school like that, But I'm now in the minority. Over half the people only use their mobile device, and so using what's referred to as a lead ad, right? And Gary, maybe you could talk through exactly how a lead ad works. There's an ad and a form, but most importantly, I want you to spend time talking about the content or the message of this campaign.
Sure. So number one is that as you create a lead ad, the call to action, as you see there, is to learn more about whatever specific offer that you're making. And then that takes them to a page to be able to submit their information, right?
Well, it's a form within Facebook,
right,
and it pre-populates their information, so they have less taps and clicks to fill out the form, right? And so then there's a thank you page, and then they are a lead at that point.
Okay, so let me ask you, Chris, how long does it take to set one of these up?
This one takes a little bit longer, maybe 15 minutes or
15 minutes. I mean, that takes less time than I used to create a postcard.
Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't take long.
But what's important here is that you're creating offers of help, and Facebook now allows you to automate them contacting you.
Right.
But let's talk about the content of this campaign, because Chris, you and I were talking about, you said, Gary, if you need business right now, what's the very first thing you do? I say, I go to my database and I make offers of help. This is a really powerful one. Not only that you make to people in your database, but these are offers of help that you can ask them to share with other people. And so the content here is a home buyer move-up program. And what that is that if a home seller hires me to list their home and buy a home within, for me, it's 90 days, what I do is I offer a rebate of my fee. What I choose to do is I rebate 1% of my fee that I collect on the lesser of the two homes. So it's not just a move-up program. Heck, it could be a move-down program.
Gotcha.
It's just a moving program. And so many people are like, are you a discount broker? No. What I'm doing is I'm offering to reduce my fee to somebody who utilizes me to sell and buy a home. So it's like going to Costco. You get a discount because you buy in bulk.
Right. Well, you didn't have to, at that point, because you're getting two sides for essentially the investment in one, from your perspective, that your cost for the customer or your cost for the transaction was eliminated essentially for one of those transactions.
Yes, absolutely. So why not offer a thank you to your customer? And it may be a reduction in your fee. It could be, I don't know, it could be you paying for the moving company. Whatever you decide and your broker approves, offer something of substantial value to them. And I mean, by the way, Chris, if you saw this ad and you weren't thinking of moving, but you knew somebody who was, what we're doing is we're offering a tool of referral.
Yeah. That's a powerful one too, because now
if you saw this and you knew somebody who was wanting to move,
I would want my friend to be able to save that money. And it's something that all of a sudden, when that conversation takes place, not only will you enter into my mind, I've got a very powerful, really a selfish reason to
Yes.
refer you. It's so that my friend will benefit from working with you,
Yep.
right? And so that's the best kind of referral tool out there, is when the client or the person who knows you has a selfish reason to refer you because they want their friend to win by working with you.
It's all psychological. So what we're doing is we're offering them the tools to be able to refer you.
So this is ideal not just for your database, but also for a geographic farm area.
Absolutely.
If you're working with one.
Yeah, if you're working on a farm area or a specific target audience, you can target them on Facebook with your ads, and you're offering help to them.
Well, these lead ads not only work on a mobile device, they also work on the desktop as well. Here's what it would look like. You can see the language there that we're using. Thinking of moving in the next 18 months, take advantage of our Move Up Homebuyer program. When you sell your home with us and buy another one within 90 days, you'll get a 1% rebate on the purchase of your next home. Have a friend or family member who could benefit from our Move Up Homebuyer program. We'd be happy to make this program available to them.
And that is the referral tool right there.
So and then when
they can take that and share that with friends on Facebook.
So again, this would be, by the way, this is something that I would have constantly running, right? Not just if you're constantly running your monthly campaigns, right? That one where we're marketing to our database using that messenger and providing value on a regular basis, then I would also have this campaign running. Not a lot, you can run this campaign for as little as $1 a day, right? You don't have to break the bank on this one. You can literally run this for as little as $1 a day, but it really depends on the size of your database. If you've got like 2,000 people in your database, you might want to spend between $2 and $5 a day. If you've got 100 people in your database, $1 a day is going to be more than sufficient.
Yep.
So let's move on, Gary, to the fifth and final campaign before we get into your Facebook-fueled secret weapon.
Facebook fueled.
So many of you may know that Instagram is owned by Facebook. And what's amazing is that it is the second largest and fastest growing social media platform out there. Back last year, they had reported 700 million users. They now report over 800 million users of Instagram. Now, one of the really interesting things about Instagram is this, that Instagram has 58 times more engagement per follower than Facebook. Can you believe that?
I actually can, because for me, I when you first shared this with me, I was like, well, let me think about what I do. And I do engage with people and their posts on Instagram much more than I do Facebook. And I don't know why that is, but
it's the format.
It's just easier to do.
It's the format of the content. So, talk about go back to right person, right message, right time.
Right.
So the way in which the rules of Instagram force you to take photos, share photos, it's a rich media format. And so when people share rich media, the likelihood of it being the right message for the people who they know, right? It's people who are connected to them via Instagram. So right person is people who are connected via Instagram. For the most part, that's going to be people who know us fairly closely. They may be their customers. When we share photos from our life, that's interesting. That's right message for those people who know us. And that's why I would speculate, using that formula, why it is so effective. The other thing is, it's just fun.
It is fun.
I think there's a fun factor to using Instagram that is more powerful than even using Facebook, because of there's not the other stuff in there. There's not the links to the articles. There's not all some of the crazy information that you see on
Facebook. Fake news?
A little bit of the fake news. Now, question is, how do I use Instagram? Well, here's the thing. You use it the same way you're using Facebook. Use it to market open houses, use it to market listings, use it to market your website, use it for video. When you're using Facebook ads, all you have to do to get your advertisement to show up in Instagram is click on place in Instagram. It's like clicking on syndicate. It's very easy. It's not difficult.
It's literally a checkbox.
It's literally a checkbox. And if you do recommended placements in Facebook ads, it will already do this for you. So I point this out. If you're using Facebook ads, you may already be posting on Instagram and you don't know it. And that's fine. That's okay, because you're going to where the people are at. Now, here's the thing. When you're using tools like Facebook ads and you're using tools like Instagram, all of a sudden you have a Facebook-fueled secret weapon, which is your marketing know-how to impress home sellers.
Yes, because we're giving them the proof, the evidence that we know how to take care of their concerns. Now, here's what's really interesting, Chris. You shared this with me, is that according to the National Association of Realtors, the number one thing that home sellers want from us is what?
Well, they want us to market the home to potential buyers.
Okay. Now, if we know that that's what they want, we should be offering that to them and showing them how we're doing it. But at the same time, we need to know where those home buyers are. So we can say, yes, we market to home buyers, and they're like, well, how do you do that? And you're like, well, I don't really know because I don't know where they are. No, we need to know where they are. And in fact, if you know these statistics, this is really powerful. You could even use a script like this and say, hey, Chris, were you aware that according to the National Association of Realtors, last year, over 95% of home buyers started their home search online?
That's pretty powerful.
Gosh, if we know that that's where they are, doesn't it make sense that we need to market your home online? In addition to that, Chris, 51% of those home buyers ended up finding the house that they bought online. And so knowing where they are and knowing what your home sellers want, now it's like, oh, I need to have these campaigns in order to take care of my home sellers. But we're not done.
Well, interestingly enough, Gary, and guys, I want to pull up some of the slides from your listing presentation.
Okay.
But here's the thing. You're using the crazy thing is this. You're using Facebook to benefit yourself and your sellers. Right. So you're using it to generate business, to promote your brand. And as a byproduct, you get to use this as a secret weapon to be able to have home sellers have a reason to hire you over somebody else.
Yes, but you have to communicate it effectively. This is where we use the differentiation factor. And I need to differentiate myself and my marketing to my home sellers from all of my competition so that I build that trust and I get hired.
How do you do that in your listing appointment?
So this is a slide from my actual listing appointment. And this is where I would talk about how we market to those home buyers online through generating leads on Facebook and then driving them to a landing page that features the home.
So you take a screenshot of one of the ads that we place in Facebook and show them this is part of how my campaign works. To show them how it works.
Absolutely. And so all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, they're doing what I kind of intuitively expected them to do, but you're showing them how you do it.
You know, guys, I want to do a timeout, Gary.
Okay.
So here's why it's so important to point out what you're going to do to market and sell that home. First off, according to the National Association of Realtors, that's what the home sellers want.
Yep.
More importantly, Gary, there is this false assumption of what the home sellers and really the market think that we're going to do. And you've got a nice little language. You've got this old 3P dialogue that you use. Can you share with everybody, first off, what is the practice that they're concerned we're going to do, and how can we leverage that, exploit that negative practice into a benefit for our clients in working with us?
Well, so what your home sellers actually believe, this is the number one reason that they ask you to reduce your commission, is that they believe that you do what every other realtor does, and that is we put a sign in the yard, we put the home in the MLS, and then we pray that the house sells. Well, the unfortunate fact is, Chris, is that a lot of realtors I know still do that. But that is not taking care of our customers, nor is it showing them how well we're going to market their home to potential buyers who are online, and right now they're on Facebook and Instagram. So what we share with them is that, those were the old 3 Ps. Now we work under the 3 new Ps, and that is, let's prepare your home. Let's price your home effectively, and then this is the most important part here, Chris, is promoting your home to where the buyers are. And then I show them how we do this through our pre-launch campaign. I show them all of the places that we're going to market and advertise their home online.
Gotcha.
In addition to that, I never leave social media out because they're on social media too. They're seeing these ads, and I just showed them an ad that we have done in the past, and I'm going to show them how effective that is as well.
Well, Gary, this really begs the question, what are you guys doing to market listings? I mean, tell us in the chat feature right there, what are some of the innovative ways or creative ways that you're using to market listings? Tell us if you're using drone footage. Tell us if you're using Google ads, YouTube ads. What are some of the things that you're doing that's a little bit more on the cutting edge? The reason why I bring this up, and I mentioned that Gary has a Facebook-fueled secret weapon. We use a device that has one Gary listings when you've even been competing against, 6 other agents?
I was actually competing against 7 luxury agents on a luxury home. And I always ask my clients when they hire me, people think I'm crazy. I say, gosh, Chris, thank you so much for hiring me. Do you mind if I ask what made you make that decision to hire me? And this on that one, they said it was your 8-week marketing plan that you sent us. When you detailed line by line every single thing that you are going to do to market and promote my home, I was done. It was the proof.
What you see on your screen here, guys, is our property marketing plan. This is a detailed line item. I think there's some 100 points. It's a 10-page marketing plan that we're going to use to market that seller's home into the market to find the buyers who are going to want to be interested in that and make offers on that home. Here's the thing. By taking the time to document everything that we're going to do and share that with the prospective seller, now all of a sudden, it's not a question of what are you going to do, right? Now you have a tool to be able to really defend and prevent that question from becoming a real issue about will you discount your commission? Because, well, I shared with you how much we outperform the market, and I showed you the tools in which and the plan that we're going to use to do that. Now all of a sudden they're like, I got it, right? Because it's no longer just putting a sign in the yard, putting the MLS, and hoping that it's going to sell.
Right.
No, rather, there's a 100-point marketing plan that I'm going to go through, and each one of these things need to take place. And I encourage all of you to have a property marketing plan that you can reference. It is a superior way to develop a competitive advantage that there's proof. This is what I'm going to do, so that we all don't look the same. Gary, you're really big on differentiation and making ourselves different in the marketplace. Well, if everyone is doing one thing, you should be doing something a little bit differently. And showing your customer what you're going to do differently by marketing their home, that's how you show them the value that you're going to deliver to them.
Now, I have a lot of questions here. I'm not going to call the people out because there's so many. They're like, I love what you're showing here, but isn't this difficult to do?
Oh my, to make a property marketing plan?
No, the Facebook ads.
Oh, the Facebook ads? Not at all, not at all. In fact, we have a program, and I'm just gonna take a moment to share it with you guys before we get into Q&A. We have a program called Facebook Marketing for Real Estate. I'm gonna make you a special offer, so you're not gonna pay anything near the $597 today, but it's an online self-paced program. You're gonna get the skills and tools to be able to use and create Facebook ads to promote your business and to promote your sellers' homes, for that matter. It's going to give you everything you need to use the Facebook ad platform. In fact, it's going to give you advertising templates and checklists so that you can run the same campaigns that I shared with you today, as well as a whole bunch of others. Everything from just listed campaigns to open house campaigns, which we didn't have time to get into today, to how to do those lead generation ads, how to do those messenger ads, how to do branding ads, how to develop repeat and referral business through Facebook, and a whole heck of a lot more. Lots of our clients report back to us the success that they have had in using Facebook to generate leads. Here's from Sonia saying that they run Facebook ads every day and they generate about 200 leads per month via a minimal budget. So you're going to be able to Facebook like a boss today for only $67. When you join our club, you can get Facebook Marketing for Real Estate. That's the program that we offer for only $67 today. When you join our club, you're going to get access to our real estate training library with hundreds of topics and solutions, right? So the club is a membership, and you're going to have access to a training library. The training library is going to show you how to do listing appointments. We talk more about Facebook marketing. We talk about all of social media marketing. We share with you how to work with home buyers and sellers. And even for those of you interested in taking your practice online and going digital, there's literally hundreds, maybe thousands of downloadable tools, templates, and resources that will save you countless hours. Listing appointment templates, marketing plans, advertising templates, and even home buyer and seller guides. Every single month, you're going to get a digital marketing campaign to ramp up your stream of leads. It includes prospecting letters, emails, social media posts, ad templates, referral tools, and everything you need to bring in more clients to work with. If you remember that omnipresent marketing campaign that I shared with you, essentially every single month you get an omnipresent marketing campaign delivered to your inbox from us for you to use with your sphere of influence. There's no contract, there's no commitment when you join our club. You can cancel at any time. It even includes a marketing website with blogs posted automatically for you every single month. It includes landing pages to market listings, also for lead generation. The marketing website is meant to complement your existing web presence by making it easier for clients to find you online. You're also going to get access to Gary, myself, and our entire team on live training sessions. You're going to get your real estate tech, sales, and marketing questions answered on 2 group coaching sessions every single month. It also includes a marketing suite so that you can send emails, newsletters, and prospecting emails out to your database. All of that's included when you join the club. You can easily cancel online, hassle-free, with no questions asked. There's no contract, there's no commitment when you join our club. I'm going to throw in a little bonus gift for you guys when you decide to join the club today. You're going to get Gary's listing presentation template valued at $967. It even includes the templates and the scripts. Let me just run through very quickly all of the slides. I think it's like some 20 slides to Gary's listing presentation, but it's in Keynote. It's also in PowerPoint, so you'll be able to customize it to make your own. I recommend you take the photo of Gary and myself out. You probably don't want us in there. You want to leave us in there, that's fine too, but I wouldn't. But these are the slides for all of the slides for Gary's listing presentation. We only had a chance to cover 3 or 4 of them today, but there are a whole bunch of them. This is really set up to be able to connect the activities that you do behind the scenes to be able to demonstrate the value that you're going to give those home sellers to get more for their home in less time. And so that's Gary's listing presentation. Like I said, that's included today when you join the club. We've got lots of clients reporting back to us the success that they've had. Here's from Will saying that great session. That was from a coaching session that we had done. Can't thank you enough. Our business has already more than doubled since joining the Paperless Agent. Last December, we had closed $6.5 million so far and have another $1 million in the pipeline. When you sign up today and today only, right now during this webcast, I'm also going to throw in the bonus gift of our property marketing plan template. This is the same property marketing plan that I shared with you that we use that outlines everything that we do. Now, here's the thing. You're going to get this in Pages. You're also going to get it in a Word document so you can modify it and make it your own. There's some things that you probably don't do. There's some things that you're doing that we're not doing that you'll want to add in there. You can take off the Paperless Agent, put your own logo on there.
Absolutely.
So that it looks like yours. You don't have to. I mean, some people just use it the way it is. But I wanted to share a story from one of our clients that reported back to us. This is from Teresa. Teresa said, I wanted to say a huge thank you to the Paperless Agent team. Thank you, Gary, Jordan, and Chris, and the whole team behind the scenes. We actually tripled our income in 2017.
Tripled. That's incredible.
We sold over 9 million, all because we followed the Paperless Agent plan. We started doing open houses again, and we followed the sales plan, and we reignited our client contacts. We had been with another office for over 13 years, and we never had this level of marketing material. The saying goes, plan your work and work your plan, and Paperless Agent gives you the plan. You just need to work it, and thank you to everyone who shares in the private Facebook group. Thank you, Teresa. So sign up for the club today. You're going to get our Facebook Marketing for Real Estate program. You're going to get Gary's listing presentation as well as the scripts that he uses for each one of the slides. And when you sign up right now, you're going to get our property marketing plan. You're going to get that when you join our club for $67 a month. You can cancel online, hassle-free, anytime.
All right, so all you need to do, I just launched this. There is, over in the chat section, there is a little icon, and it's a sunset orange button. It says Join Club Now. I'll also put that in the chat section. It's going to be under Get Started Now. All you need to do, click on that link if you want access to all of this and our training. And here's what's going to happen, is that as soon as you sign up right now, you're going to get an email instantly that is going to come to you, and it may end up, by the way, it may end up in your spam folder. That happens sometimes. If you're using Gmail, it may end up in your promotions tab. So search through there, but you're going to get it instantly. So you'll get instant access. You'll be able to download my listing presentation templates. You can modify them, start using that tomorrow. You get to get access to Chris's Facebook Marketing for Real Estate program. You can start creating ads this afternoon by following his proven method. And if you sign up right now, you are going to also get that property marketing plan template that you can download instantly and get started. So what I'd like to do now, Chris, is I'd like to transition over to Q&A.
Do it.
Because we've got a lot of questions. So let's get to this. Wow, a lot of people bringing it. Robert says, is the $67 per month or a one-time fee? Robert, it is only $67 per month, and you can cancel at any time.
Online. You don't have to call us or email us.
Yep.
You just cancel online.
Yep. Let's see. Next question. Rosalind says, do you have a 4-week marketing plan? Quite a few clients want to move quickly. Well, Rosalind, you can customize. This is the beauty of our 8-week marketing plan. You can make it a 6-month marketing plan. You can make it a 2-day marketing plan. The beauty is that these are in templates that you get to customize.
Here's the thing. I would, even though they might want to sell the home faster. I mean, I don't know if you noticed in Gary's list, we didn't cover this slide, but in Gary's listing presentation, he's got this one slide. I'm going to pull it up because it's really important.
Right.
to address this. In your listing presentation, you had this slide here where it says days, basically how long the homes that we sell are on the market and what the list to sales price ratio for us compared to the Austin general market.
Right.
And if you were to go into the Austin market today, homes selling pretty fast, right?
Yes, they are. Homes are selling within days. So,
But here's the thing. If you have a marketing plan that only lasts days, what happens if you get to the day that's beyond the scope of your marketing plan? What you explain to people is, hey, this might be an 8-week marketing plan. Here's the thing. I anticipate us selling the home this time. But, there are certain property types that could take longer. Things like land, certain luxury homes are going to take a little bit longer. So, I would vary it to be what you think is going to be most appropriate so that you don't run into the danger zone of, all right, we've been marketing this home, we've had this on the marketplace, and all of a sudden, I'm 12 weeks in on an 8-week marketing plan.
Right.
Now what do I do?
Well, you restart the system.
As long as you got an answer, right? As long as you got an answer. For me, I'd rather have a marketing plan that was too long that achieved the result, meaning that, man, we were really successful. We got this done in 10 days and, less than 2 weeks. Goes to show you how effective that marketing plan is. But hey, it's always better safe than sorry, I say.
Yep. Okay. Hector picked up on this because you ran past this pretty quickly, talking about the personal website that our customers get.
Oh, yeah.
Hector said, do you help with my personal website to customize it with social media?
Well, here's what we provide. So if you go to, let's go Gary Wise Austin, and one of the things is if you Google Gary, a whole bunch of results are going to pop up. The more results, the better. This builds trust with people who are searching for you, which is people who are referred to you. And the fourth placement is actually the same website, marketing website that we provide you guys with, is the one that's showing up for Gary here. It did take a couple of months for it to rank that high, but over time it does. So here's what Gary's site, and yours will look the same, except for you'll put your photo, you'll put your bio. We automatically post a blog post every single month for you that you're going to use as part of your overall omnipresent marketing campaign. The benefit of having that blog post posted is that your site is always up to date. It always looks like you're making a contribution to it.
Yep.
You can add listings to it very easily here. There's some contact information. You connect your social media profiles. It's really meant to be a light site, right? So if someone searches for you, they come across you easily. It also allows you to implement those property marketing campaigns like I shared with you on Facebook today. Here's a property landing page. This was actually the landing page that people came to when they clicked on that ad, and they got more information on it.
So this is actually great because I think Brandy or somebody said, what landing page company should I use?
We use this. This is what we use.
Yeah, so when you join our coaching club today, you get this free website and unlimited landing pages.
Now, you're also going to get a complete marketing campaign every month. Was that Hector was asking about that?
Yep.
So in addition to the blog post, this was from the March one. This is the one that I have as an example. In March, we did the Home Buyer's Guide to Getting Mortgage Ready. In addition to the blog post, there's a PDF report that you can use. You can print this out. I know we're a paperless agent, but it's paperless, not paper free. So you can print this out, deliver it to people. You can also email it to your contacts. We give you, basically prospecting email copy for it. We give you social media posts for that same campaign, Pinterest, Instagram, even a phone script and a voicemail script. So we give you all of the components to be able to implement that omnipresent marketing campaign. We even give you a calendar of which days to do it every single month so that you can implement that marketing material. And it's going to save you a ton of money being able to use what we provide you with to implement this. Right now, you might be paying a website provider. You might be paying an email provider.
Right.
You might be paying, someone to do your social media stuff. You might be paying somebody to do your blogs, or maybe you're trying to do all of those things yourself. Well, we're going to do this for you for $67 a month.
There you go. All right. Next question. Jim was saying, if I don't have any current listings, what is the program that I should work on Facebook? So
remember, you said you were going to tell everybody your top program.
Yes. So the number one thing that I would do right now, the very first thing is I would follow. Number one, you need to register for our program, get into Chris's Facebook Marketing for Real Estate, and create the campaign to activate your database. And that is by using a Move Up Home Buyer program. This is going to be so powerful to get this in front of your customers. But you don't stop there. Like you do that, and then you start contacting people in your database, because this is going to activate your database.
Right. Well, Gary, can you give everyone sort of the steps? Right, this Facebook ad is actually for the Move Up program is one of the components out of 3 steps, right? So your first step was sorting people who had been in their home for 3 years, right?
Yep.
You want to walk people through that?
Sure. So number one is you upload your entire database to Facebook, because you want this in front of all of them.
Because the referability of this tool is very highly valuable.
Then what you do is you find the people in your database who have lived in their home for more than 3 years. Then, next step is you're going to do a quick CMA for every one of those people's homes, and then you send it to them and say, hey, I noticed you've been in your home for this amount of time. Wanted to give you an update as to the equity increase that you might have experienced over the past number of years. If you need more information about this, or you're interested in taking advantage of my home buyer or my move up program that saves you 1% on my fee, please contact me and we can get started. So, and then, not done, you email it to them, then you pick up the phone and you call them.
So what you're really doing is an outreach program for people who have seasoned in their house for a certain number of years.
Seasoned in their house.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Statistically speaking, people are going to be moving, you know. We see that number starting to pick up. I know it slowed down during the Great Recession. It's now picking up as home equities have increased significantly. And quite frankly, depending on the stage of life people are in, that is going to determine, you know, how long I've been in the home, the stage of life that I'm in, and this is something that I'm interested in. And if they're not, it's a good thing just to remind them that if they know somebody who is, this is a great way for them to be able to move as well.
Absolutely.
So, you know, Gary, this would also be the one campaign I would do because it's the one that's going to produce the fastest business.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you implement all the elements to it. Now, remember, as much as I said this is the only one to do, you can't do this one unless you're doing this.
Yeah, you have got to join our Paperless Agent Coaching Club, because that way we're going to give you all of the tools and resources to have omnipresent marketing.
If you're not doing this, you don't have a right to contact those people. You're not providing value. They're going to see it as like, oh, you need business and you're calling me, versus I've stayed in touch. I'm providing value on a regular basis, you know, whether it's investing information, mortgage tips, home maintenance calendars. I'm providing value on a regular basis. That gives us the opportunity to reach out with something that's more direct offer of help. You reach out with that Move Up Home Buyer program without having stayed in touch, it's not, they're going to feel like you're taking them for granted. So definitely do this, then do not. You might say, I haven't been doing omnipresent marketing ever. Okay, start today, right? Like you can start today doing this and do it for 20, 30 days, then start your move up.
Yep. See your results and then keep going.
By the way, because of the time of year, you should be doing this
right now
because of the time of year. I mean, this is the season of listings and getting listing appointments and picking up listings because
What's the danger? What is the danger of not doing this? Is that anybody who you know who might be moving this year,
or people they know,
they may be hiring somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's simply because they've forgotten about you, or somebody else has captured their attention.
And it may not be that they forgot about you. If you haven't stayed in touch, they might feel like, maybe they took that for granted, right?
Yeah,
maybe
you might
someone
not care
else
about me.
is more eager to work with them and has been staying in touch.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they haven't seen other people in real estate. It's not like if they are thinking of moving, it's not like they haven't been on those home search sites getting exposed to other people out there who might be really eager to work with them. So very important that we do this.
Okay, so Jason said, I'm in. How do I sign up? All you need to do over in the chat section is a sunset orange, as Chris calls it, button. It says join club now, and you're going to get everything that you see there on the screen. So,
by the way, I'm sure we have current clients who join us, who are with us right now. If you're a current client, can you tell everybody what your favorite feature of the club is?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. And if you are joining now or are already in the club, take a moment and introduce yourself to other club members in the chat section. Say, hi, this is Gary, and I'm in Austin, Texas, and I'm in. But probably not Gary in Austin, Texas, unless your name is Gary and you live in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, don't say that unless you do it.
All right. Next question. Hector says, how can I connect my Facebook page with my Instagram profile?
Well,
in Instagram. Actually, we have a full training session on that.
Yeah, so when you join the club, I've dedicated a lot of time to Instagram in our training library. So I'll give you the highlight version of it though. When you go to Instagram, you're going to switch to Instagram's business tools. And so you will create an Instagram business account. And what that's going to do is it'll actually make you connect your business page when you go to convert that.
Next question I have is, how much do I need to be spending on Facebook ads? Actually, a lot of people said, how do you do this without spending a lot of money? And in fact, William said, how do you boost your page and ads without paying out the wazoo?
Yes, well, here's what I'm going to suggest. My original budget for us was $300 a month. Now, if you can't spend $300 a month, then I would spend $100 a month. You're going to spend what you can afford. And here's the thing, I'm all for the scrappy budget because I believe that I should be able to learn how to use a tool and learn how to use it to get a result before I start spending a lot of money with it. There are some tools and technologies which require a higher spend, things like Google AdWords or YouTube ads, but Facebook does not currently. So what I suggest that you do is start with a modest budget. You saw that in some of those campaigns we're spending 5, 10, the most was that Just Listed campaign. I think we spent $40 on the listing. You should probably have a budget for a listing. Like you think about it, part of what we're being compensated for is to make sure that that gets in the hands of buyers. If we just abdicate that responsibility to the home search sites and stuff like that, we're not really doing an effective job. That's why people come back at us and will you discount your commission. But if you're doing what we tell you to do, you could afford to spend $25, $30, $40, $50 on marketing a listing in Facebook. Here's the thing, if you're marketing for the omnipresent marketing for your database, the average campaign that I run there on a weekly basis is going to be around 15 to 20 bucks. So for marketing to our database, less than $100 a month, right? To be able to secure what would be the number one source of business is going to be repeat and referral clients. And I think that if you look at it from that standpoint of what am I spending my time and money on, you should be spending a lot of time and money on cultivating that repeat and referral business. And to be able to spend $60, $70 a month, view that as a business development activity, right? So staying in touch with your database doesn't require the same pressure to get a return on investment on cold traffic, right? Because being able to, getting a return on investment on your database is like saying, well, what's the return on investment on my sign in the yard? You wouldn't like sell a home without putting a sign on the yard, I hope, right? Well, that sign on the yard, they're pretty expensive. We know, we're constantly having to buy signs, right? Every time we do a name change or a logo change, it's like, oh, we got to buy more signs now, And so they're expensive. What's the ROI on the sign? I don't know.
It's the cost of doing business, my friend.
It's the cost of doing business, just like staying in touch with your database via Facebook is the cost of doing business. Now you get to decide whether that's $20 a week or $100 a week. You get to make that decision. So what I would suggest is start small and then work your way up. You will quickly rationalize it when you go and you meet with a client or you meet with somebody and they say, hey, I've been seeing your stuff on Facebook. I've been seeing your ads on Facebook. Then all of a sudden it's going to go like, ding, this works, right? And it's only going to take one time for you to realize that that works.
Next question. Batya says, what if you don't have a database?
Well,
let me answer this.
Yeah.
You do.
You too, yeah.
It may be on your phone. It may be in your head. It may be in Excel. You have a database. It's everybody who knows you and you know. And so, Batya, you have a database. You just need to organize it. And you can start by just putting it in a CSV or an Excel file and working it that way. Brandy says, trust the process, just start. Thank you, Brandy. Brandy also asks, what is your favorite video editing program?
I like ScreenFlow.
Yep.
ScreenFlow Pro. Although we have our video professional here, Jarrett, who's actually helping us with the video today, and he probably cringed a little bit when I said ScreenFlow. What's your tool of choice?
I use Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro.
That was pretty good. Final Cut is
Final Cut Pro.
It's a good one too. iMovie comes free with the Mac.
iMovie is it's gotten a lot better over the years too.
So Premiere and Final Cut are harder to use. iMovie is probably a lot easier to use, and then I like ScreenFlow Pro because it's easier to use, and I don't like hard, I don't like making things hard.
No, we like the KISS principle. Keep it simple, sweetheart. More on video. Amy says, can you use videos used or created by Ripple on Facebook ads?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can go into Ripple, you create your video, and then you just upload it into Facebook.
Yep. Ripple's an app on your phone that you can use to create video, and I like Ripple because it has a better music selection than some of the other apps do.
Yep. Okay, next question. Shannon says, how do I find the right person? That's the hardest thing to do, especially for commercial. So I'm just going to answer this real quick. You need to look into Chris's Facebook marketing for real estate. In there, he shows you how to target market the people that you want to get in front of. Now, here's the first thing that you have to do is you have to define who that target market is.
Yeah, and you already have a persona, a profile in your mind of who that person is. Just take your last, several customers and just sort of put what's common about their circumstances, what's common about their situation, what's common about what they're interested in, and that's where I would start. Whether you're in commercial or whatever, is start zeroing in on who is that right person or right persons, right? So that might be a handful of different people. I mentioned someone was interested in connecting with millennials. Someone else might be interested in the empty nester market, right? So whatever that niche or whatever that audience looks like is what you're going to do is what are the things that are common in what they're interested in their circumstances. And from there, you can reverse engineer, this is what I'm looking for. Now, here's the great thing about Facebook is you can start with a broader audience and work your way down. One of the things I'm thinking, if I'm commercial, and this also applies if you're in residential as well, is that there is the ability to market to people based on the title of their position at work. Did you know that? Their role.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so there's the ability to market to people based on the role that, because in Facebook you put in there what your job is, and so you can market to people who are based on your job. So you can put in there, if I'm in commercials, I'm probably interested in business owners, business executives, right? Executives and managers, because those are the people who make those types of decisions. And so that's where I would be starting if I'm in commercial leasing.
That's incredible.
By the way,
Yep.
you could do that. Let's say you're in real estate. So like people in Austin, Austin's kind of a techie community, but there's a lot of other places that have a sort of tech environment. So you can target people who are programmers. You can target people who are marketing professionals, right? So you can target people based on what is a good paying job in the market that you're in to be able to say, well, I know these people, they got a good job, which means they get paid well. They got a steady job, so I know they're going to qualify. So I'm going to put marketing to them. Hey, Austin programmers, you need to check out this part of town. You want to live in a condo in downtown, Austin? Pick a place, try different messages. That's where once you've defined that right person, play with different messages. Don't just stick with one and do it. A good principle in marketing, the only way to market actually is to use what I refer to as an iterative approach, meaning you try something, learn from it, and try it again. Try something, learn from it, and then do it again. And that's how, Gary, I like to tell this story. You remember this. Back in 2012 was when I first started running Facebook ads, which is now 5 years ago. Can you believe that? 2012, 2018, yes. It's now 5 years. Now, my first experience with Facebook ads was this. I would go into Facebook, and I saw that boost post button. You guys are familiar.
A lot of people were asking about boost posts. I was going to ask you about this, so I'm glad you're talking about it.
So when I first got introduced to Facebook ads, it was actually a little bit before the boost post button was there, but then when I started, and I didn't know how to use it, but what happened is I was on Facebook, and I had a business page that I wanted to promote, and I started clicking on boost post. And I spent $5, and I waited very patiently for 24 hours, and nothing happened.
Wait, that's patiently waiting?
And then, me, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, so what do? I keep hitting it. I think I racked up $300 over the course of a week hitting that boost post button. And guess what happened? $300.
Nothing.
7 days later.
Oh, wait. We spent $300.
I did blow $300. And so nothing happened, though. And I was like, you know what? This Facebook crap doesn't work, Garrett. This Facebook stuff doesn't work. And I was going to give up. But here's the thing. I happened to see that there were some Facebook ads that were being marketed to me that were working. And I was like, wait a minute, how come they're getting my attention? I'm clicking on their ads. I'm taking advantage of their products and services. Yet I can't seem to do this for myself. And that's when I realized I had a gap in my understanding, in my knowledge, and my skill on how to use Facebook ads, because hitting boost post was not the skill that was going to produce the result that I wanted. So I committed myself to study. I went out, I learned about Facebook ads, I learned from experts, I researched, I started spending money to learn how to use Facebook ads. Well, fast forward 5 years, now I've spent a ton of money. I've gone through many, many programs on it, and probably the best experience I have now that I learned the fundamentals is running our own campaigns. By running our own campaigns, and I'm in there, even though we have a team that does Facebook ads now for us, I still run them every month because I like to be in there using the tool, understanding how it works, because then I can collaborate with our team. But here's the thing, I committed to that instruction. It didn't take very long. It actually did not take long for me to be able to get a basic understanding of this is how it works. And that's exactly what we share with you in Facebook Marketing for Real Estate, is that hitting boost posts is not sufficient. Why? Because it doesn't allow me to select the right person. You have to be able to select the right person before you can even think about putting the right message in front of them. Using Facebook Ads Manager, you can use those criteria to be able to say, this is the person that I want to put this message in front of. But I know you can do it because I did it too, because I was the fool that was there hitting the boost post button, spending $300.
That's the power, is that they get to learn from our mistakes, but you also get to learn from our successes.
So boost, 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 boost. Oh wait, there's a different way. Figured it out, and if I could figure out how to do it, I know you guys can do it, because you're here. You're like fast tracked. I was much more dense in my process, so I know you guys can do it as well.
Awesome. Next question is, does this work in Canada? Absolutely. The $67 a month is in US dollars, but absolutely this works for Canadians. In fact, we have maybe 12 or 15% of our coaching client members are north of the border, friends of ours in Canada. Next question, Oliver says, does this include the price of an active website?
It includes our marketing website. It's a light website. It's not a full.
It doesn't have IDX, but
it's not custom. I mean, you can go in there and customize it, but it's not like a custom website that we produce for you. It doesn't have IDX in there. It's a light profile site. I like to think of it as, if you've ever heard of About Me pages, it's an About Me for real estate.
That has landing pages.
Yep, that has landing pages.
So it's like About Me on steroids?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like awesome. You'll like it.
Christine says, I'm noticing there's so much info in the club access. Do you have a checklist of the best trainings to follow to implement the Facebook marketing for real estate? So
go to the dashboard and access Facebook marketing for real estate. There's an actual card on your dashboard. I'm going to pull it up.
As you pull that up, I also want to mention that when you join, we have a 3-week getting started plan. So you're going to get a getting started plan that says, what is it that I need to do right now?
Yeah, we have a good setup process there. You're going to get emails from us letting you know. Oops, I closed out what I needed. So when you log in to the club, so you'll go to the Paperless Agent dashboard. Sounds like someone's tap dancing over there. And when you scroll down, you see I have all of the programs we've ever created. Many of them are no longer available, but you'll see this Facebook marketing for real estate. Go in there. That's where you're going to get the campaigns and learn how to use Ads Manager, and all the stuff that you need if you really want to get jump started on Facebook is right in there. You also get Gary's listing presentation under the Digital Listing Presentation Power Pack, and you can download the Property Marketing Plan template under the Digital Property Marketing Plan. And so go into Facebook. That's where you use that. Then you go to the training library to get updates, right? So periodically, we do coaching sessions twice a month. We've got 2 different formats for them. We just did one yesterday, so you'll get that recording here in the next couple of days posted in there. So the first coaching session of every month, we kick off that month's omnipresent marketing campaign. But we also do like Q&A. We'll answer client questions on things that they want to know about. The second coaching session of every month is more technical. So I'll do a deep dive in, let's say, updates to the Facebook platform or updates to Instagram marketing, or Gary will go in there and he'll do a very specific training on using a CRM in real estate. So we like to balance it between, the strategies to use, and we usually try to cover that in the first session of the first coaching session, but then we like to get into tactics on the second one, so that you have a good balance of it. And really, if you look at it, it really rounds out the entire process that's necessary. If you guys are going to be long-term in the career of real estate, you're going to have to commit to, if you want to be successful, you're going to have to commit to sort of the ongoing development process, right? We have to, if we want to be successful in our careers, it's that ongoing learning. And we have a community of learning through the Paperless Agents, more than just me and Gary sharing what we know. There's like thousands of people in our community who are just as generous with their time, just as generous with their knowledge in sharing what they know and what has worked. In fact, we have a private Facebook group where you can collaborate and work with other people in the Paperless Agent community. And when you commit to that ongoing learning, you're going to find that things get easier, right? It gets easier. You're going to find that success comes a little bit with less effort because you're committed to learning and you've got the help of the whole community behind you in doing that. So definitely get in there. We've got like I mentioned, I heard a couple of members saying some of the things that they loved about it, and get in there, give it a shot. By the way, if you don't like it, cancel at any time. Just go online and cancel it. Hassle-free. We're not even going to harass you about it. You'll just cancel online, click, 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 and you're done if you don't like it.
You got it. So with that, we have a few more questions to answer. We're getting close to out of time, so I want to make sure that if you have not joined the club yet and you're going to do it today, make sure that you go do that right now. We have it. I just pulled that back up. The offer ended. I just extended it a few more minutes. Go click on the sunset orange button that says Join Club Now to get started, and make sure that you do that right now so you don't lose these bonuses that we're offering. Okay, next question is Deb says, do you present the 8-week marketing plan at the listing appointment, or do you send it in advance?
Yes. Both.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so powerful that you definitely want to send it to them in advance so that they're going to be really comparing and judging you versus the other agents that they meet with. So if you send that before they meet with other agents, they see everything that you're going to do. And when the other agents don't talk about the things that you're going to do, they instantly say, oh, well, I'm going to trust you more. So it gives you a leg up.
They're probably going to say, so can you share with me your marketing plan? And then they're going to say, well, we're going to put it in the MLS and we're going to put a sign in the yard, and then we're going to do this magic, and it's going to sell. And then they're going to be like, but that's not a marketing plan. That's what that's what Gary said that they were going to do, is put a sign in the yard, put it in the MLS, and pray that it sells. So you don't have like a printed marketing plan or something I can take a look at?
Exactly, and that's what you want to happen.
That's what you want to have happen.
Absolutely. Okay. Hey everybody, we have no idea why YouTube just shut down the video, but we're here and we're still going to answer your questions, so keep them coming. Hey Alex, yeah, I think people got kicked out for some reason. YouTube kind of shut down. But head over to the chat section. Let us know that you can still hear us. We want to make sure that you can hear us, and we'll continue answering questions. So. How are we doing over there, Taylor? Are you able to, you got us. Okay, you got us live. All right. So let's answer a question from Alex here. Alex says, when you offer the move up program, the 1%, is that from your total commission or 1% of the sales price of the house. Example, instead of 6%, you charge them 5% to list the house. Yeah, Alex. So when I'm rebating them 1%, instead of charging them 6%, I'll charge them 5. So that is exactly correct there. Let's see. Okay, Delinda can hear us. Good. Patty can hear us. Judah can hear us. Great. So keep your questions coming, and we're going to stick on just as long as we can and keep answering all of your questions here. All right. Let's see. Oh, Lisa says, what would I put in an ad as if I'm a new realtor with no listings? You want to take that one, Chris?
Well, we kind of addressed it by, having a couple of different examples, Gary, but probably the best thing you can do is a few things. One option, of course, is to partner up with another agent who has a listing and offer to host an open house and market that listing as an open house. Of course, you need permission from that person, but that's part of the value exchange in hosting an open house for another agent in your office or at your brokerage, is that you work with them and you develop a relationship so you can say, hey, let me hold that open. I love that property. I'd love to be able to host it open. I'm going to run an advertising campaign to be able to market that listing and get lots of traffic and provide you a report to your sellers that they can see, how much traffic the ads got, how much traffic the actual listing got while we were there, and a report on that. So that's option one. Another one, Gary, and this is one that you said, is maybe it's not an open house, but you ask another agent to be able to offer advertising service and get their permission to market their
Absolutely,
listing. Ask your broker, talk to your broker.
Well, here's the thing, Chris, is gosh, for probably 10 years, I've had agents emailing me saying, hey, I just saw your new listing. Would it be okay if I advertise it to drive some traffic? And at first, I was resistant to that.
Right,
I'm
'cause
like,
it's
no, this is my
That's
territory.
my listing.
And then what I actually did is I thought, what's the harm here?
Right. Well, it's actually the more, if you think about it, the more people, from a seller's perspective, in terms of our fiduciary responsibility to our sellers, the more people who see that listing, the more people who market that listing, the better for them.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, of course, if you're using a scarcity mentality, you would think, well, I only want people seeing me marketing that listing. But, honestly, truth be told, people from all different places. IDX exchanges are going to share that listing. People are going to see that listing on lots of different websites. So realistically, the best thing you could do is to get more people marketing it, because that's going to generate the interest, because that's going to initially create traffic to that page. Gary, I don't think we shared this on this training, but according to the National Association of Realtors, 76% of people who viewed a listing online eventually went on, of the people who bought a home. And last year, 76% of those people who viewed a listing online went to see that home.
Right.
They either went to an open house, or they viewed it, or they called us up and said, I want to go check out that home.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's like no harm in actually
There's
doing
absolutely
that.
no harm.
Right?
And Alex actually brings it up. He says, it makes sense, but I wasn't sure if it's allowed by the MLS. Alex, actually, what I would do is I would check with your broker first to see if your broker has any listings that you can advertise. Check with other agents in your office. And then, if you need to, go outside of your brokerage and contact other agents. Here's what I would recommend. Get their permission in writing via email that you can advertise their listing. So,
and like I said, even if you don't have listings right now, that's why we use that option on the recently sold campaign. You can go back in history. The phrase recently sold is somewhat relative. Could be recently in the last 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. It's just, how you want to view that. So the key there, though, remember, the reason why we want to market real estate and why Facebook is such an effective tool for doing so is we want to implement that omnipresent marketing in multiple levels. We want people to see us who are in our sphere of influence. We want people to see us who are in the neighborhoods in which we like to spend a lot of time and working. We want those people to see us marketing and selling real estate, because that shows them that we, in fact, are competent by evidence of us marketing the real estate. And so it's, when people see us in the action of marketing real estate, heck, when people work with us, whether we're going to help them buy a home, whether we're going to help them see a home, those are the rare instances when they get to see us in our mode of competence. But when we do this form of marketing, it also gives them a glimpse of what our competence is.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Part of building that relationship with folks is that we want them to not only trust us and have trust in our character, they need to also trust our competence if they're going to refer us and work with us again.
You heard it here first. Okay, next question. Chris, how much should I spend per ad?
It depends. I, it's hard for me to give you a rule of thumb, and here's why: is that depending on your current level of production, it is really going to vary. I mean, if you're making, if you're just getting started, you're going to start off with a shoestring budget. If you're already doing a decent amount of business, I would suggest investing a little bit heavier. But let me give you a rule of thumb in terms of if you're just starting out investing in Facebook as an advertising platform. Here's what I always suggest is to, start modestly. You don't need to ramp up so quickly when you're learning how to use a platform like this, because you're likely going to encounter obstacles and issues, because that's part of learning, right? If everything we just did amazingly the first time through, well then, like there would be no reason to learn anything new. Now, you guys were here, so I know you want to learn something new, but that's part of the learning process, is to go through a little bit of a trial and error. That's why I suggest to start off modestly. So if you're going to market a listing, for Gary's listings, if it's like $1 million listing, I'm going to spend a couple of $100 marketing that thing. But if it's one of our investor properties and it's selling for, what the sort of entry level or investment property level rate is going to be, at that point, I'm going to spend anywhere from 30 to $50 to do a just listed campaign or a recently sold campaign or even an open house campaign for that specific listing. And then, but that's just marketing real estate. Now, if I'm marketing to our database, right? So let's say I'm using the monthly marketing campaign, sending that out. I'm going to I'm going to spend on average $2 a day, right? About $2 a day is where I would
$2
start.
a day. Now, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
No, I mean, heck, to market to your database, to secure repeat and referral business, $60 a month, very, very worth it. Like very, very worth it.
Yeah.
Now, here's where people oftentimes get a little bit more sidetracked. So you notice today I did not present to you just general landing pages and offering cold, using Facebook to get cold traffic to those landing pages. The reason why I really don't do that is if you're just getting started on Facebook, that's a difficult way to go because the quality of leads are so low. The amount of follow-up required to turn that lead into an opportunity is so long that just generally, most people don't have the wherewithal for it. So I really don't show people how to do like hey, here's a what's my home worth landing page with a what's my home worth ad or a home valuation ad. I see a lot of people training to that piece. The reality is those leads take 12 to 18 months to close. Most of us just don't want to deal with that I mean, it's the same as working with those home search site leads. So if you do the types of campaigns that we're talking about, you're generating a much higher quality lead.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you do shift into that mode, you are going to have to spend significantly more. Not to say that we don't do it, but just when you're getting started here and you're trying to improve your effectiveness, it's not where you begin. You begin with these 5 campaigns that we shared with you today.
Yeah, these are the 5 that you've got to stick to get started. It's like everything in real estate, Chris. We talk about this all the time, is you've got to build a solid foundation in real estate in your marketing practices before you start testing other things. And these 5 are the best proven 5.
And because of these that zero in on your people who either know you or they're in your sphere or they're in your database or they're your contacts or they're in a geographic farm that you're targeting, so the likelihood of them having familiarity with you is very high. And so that's why you want to start here. You want to gain your competence here before you start branching out into other more forms of marketing, because most of us, frankly, you can spend a lot of time mastering the fundamentals and just continue to improve on these 5 campaigns. I mean, that's one of the things that we can continuously do, is how do I improve the campaigns that I already have and instead of trying to branch out and hope for that shiny new whiz bang marketing campaign that's all of a sudden going to spit out bucket loads of leads for just a couple of quarters. Like we all want that to happen, and I'm just as guilty as the next person for wanting that to happen. But when you start to really, really understand how to use Facebook, and the reason why we chose these 5 campaigns is that it's a great way to spend time in doing something that will work and that will produce a result. Much better to get all your systems in order while you're working through these campaigns. And then once you have effective systems, then you can start branching out to doing other things. One of the things that I always recommend as you start doing this is to also spend time improving and working on your online identity. Your online identity is where, after people see you online, after people respond to your ads or interact with your website, they're going to want to research you a little bit. So you want to make sure that you've got a very powerful online identity. You've got a website, or you've got some good profile sites like the one that we provide you with, that show up when people search for you, or that you're able to have good ratings and reviews out there, and that you have a Facebook business page that people have rated, and you've got a Google page that people have rated. All of these things are things that we provide training on in our training library, but like, those are important. That they take time to implement, of course, but man, once you get that in place, it's like a solid rock, right? It's a
Right.
solid rock, a foundation for you to be able to continue to build on your marketing. Because now, when people come across your information, well, one, they might already have some familiarity, and then two, all of a sudden, what's going to happen is, as they research you online, their confidence in you is only going to increase, because not only do they see your competence, they also see that your competence has been demonstrated throughout the entire internet as they go out to research you, and then even validated by other people who've provided ratings and reviews. So I know that's kind of a long answer there.
Well, I think what you really talked a lot about there, Chris, that was really helpful, is everything that we do need to be concerned about in marketing ourselves, branding ourselves, and marketing real estate online, because that's where buyers are. And so this last question I have is actually from Melissa, that gets right back to the core of the matter that we've been talking about. Is, when we're talking about all of this, Chris, I'm just going to sum up what she said, is that she wants to join, but we've been talking so much in Q&A that she's forgotten what she gets. Would
Yes.
you go back and run through everything that everybody gets today?
So today you're going to get the Facebook Marketing for Real Estate program. You're going to get Gary's listing presentation templates and scripts, and you're going to get a property marketing plan. You're going to get all of that when you join our club. Remember, our club includes a training library. There's hundreds of resources, hundreds of topics. You get a marketing website. You get a marketing campaign every single month for you to be able to implement the same strategies that we shared here today. And so you're going to get that. Not only that, you'll get group coaching sessions twice a month, where you can hop on and get questions answered, and there's even a private Facebook group. Now, I wanted to answer one more question from Sean. He was asking, boosting a post versus using the ads manager. Boosting a post, quite frankly, is going to waste a lot of money putting your advertisement in front of people who are not going to respond. It just doesn't have the same level of targeting. So you're going to want to use Ads Manager. In terms of getting your Facebook ad to show up on Instagram, when you're using Ads Manager, when you're creating the ad set, just make sure that you've selected Instagram as one of the options. If you leave it as recommended placements, Facebook will take care of it for you.
Awesome. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you learned a lot and really enjoyed this live broadcast. As we said, my name is Gary. I'm here with Chris in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us today. Alex said, do you email all those packages, or do we get it from the website?
You're going to get an email with your information on how to log in instantly. Check your spam folder. Check your promotions tab if you're using Gmail. It's going to have the login instructions. You're going to go to the website. You'll be able to access all that information from our training portal and from our online learning platform.
All right.
If you don't see that email, just email us at support@thepaperlessagent.com, and we'll get you set up and logged in.
Jacqueline says, do the bonuses get emailed to us, or do we access that through the dashboard?
Access through the dashboard. Access through the dashboard.
Yep. So Jacqueline, Alex, and everybody else who joined us today, make sure you go and log in to your dashboard today. Make sure that you got your emails today. If you did not get it, like Chris said, check your spam folder, check your promotions tab if you're using Gmail. As a last resort, email us at support@thepaperlessagent.com, and we will see everybody who joined our coaching program on our next coaching session, which is next Wednesday.
Yes.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We are signing off.
Take care, guys. See you online.